Okay, I'm going to show you some of the things that I play around with while trying to make my left hand behave like my right hand. So these videos are just going to be things that I do every now and again that basically show you what I am currently working on. And they might be kind of odd exercises, but you'll see why I do them. So basically, the concept with hand technique is to drive the stick down, and the most important thing is that it bounces up in the same plane as it hits the drum, because if you drive it down at an angle, it's going to want to bounce in some weird way, and if it bounces down and comes back up to where it started, then you can just repeat the motion. So I always used to hear that you had like French grip, which was thumbs on top, which everybody said was good for fingers, and German grip, which was palms down and thumbs on the side, which is traditionally thought of as more of a wrist movement. But I've been working with my fingers in German grip because I more often than not play this way around now, because I find that playing with my thumbs on top gives a deader sound. The stick doesn't vibrate as much, and also my thumbs used to kind of get tense when I was playing, particularly on the hi-hat. So I'm trying to get my fingers to work in German grip, and my right hand's pretty good at this, and I can get the stick to bounce straight up and down. My left hand has more problems with it. So today's exercise is this. These three fingers are curled into my hand, and I'm just going to use my thumb and index finger, and I'm trying to get the stick to bounce straight up and down. And once you get this going, all I'm doing is this. That's the only movement, my index finger. And the stick is bouncing up of its own accord. So if it dies, I can't, to start again I have to get it up here. And I'm trying to keep my wrist still so that my hand's not really moving. And what I'm focusing on is the middle of my index finger touching the stick. So the finger isn't like this off to the side or like this, because if it's like that, then it pushes it at a funny angle. So I'm trying to feel the middle of my index finger making contact with the stick. And that's it. Now, trying to do this with my left hand, I'm having trouble keeping these three fingers in, like they're like a fist in my right hand. And at the moment, they're wanting to kind of come out of my left hand. So that's what I've been working on. It just doesn't feel as comfortable with this hand. But see what I mean? These are moving. So I'm trying to isolate the movement of my index finger, trying to keep my wrist kind of flat, not move my arm or my wrist. I don't know why they want to do that. I want to keep them in. And you'll see that if it doesn't bounce properly, then you end up using your wrist and gripping the stick. So I'm trying to get a nice big rebound all the way up here, which means allowing my index finger to come all the way out. And this is all I've been doing for the last half an hour, is trying to do this. Trying to match what my right hand can do with my left hand. And it looks odd and it seems like a weird exercise, but the point of this is that I've found something that my right hand can do that my left hand can't. So I'm trying to teach my left hand to do that. I like the fact that this hand can move the stick up and down using any of the fingers, and in any way I can do it almost any angle. I can get this straight up and down movement with my right hand, and it feels comfortable and natural. And with this hand I tend to get this angle thing going on, and once you have it coming in at an angle, then it's very hard to keep the strokes going. So that's today's angle. These three fingers in a fist, just using your index finger to move the stick. And my kind of fulcrum in this exercise is basically between the knuckle of my thumb and this back knuckle of my index finger. And they're not squeezing it, but those two knuckles provide a kind of pivot point. You know, they kind of come together and stop the stick from sliding through. So I'm not gripping it between the knuckles, it's in the fleshy bit before that. And that's the kind of, it's like a V shape at the top that the stick's allowed to bounce against. And there's not a lot of friction there. So that's the exercise. Something along those lines.